to A Place of Safety, the podcast, and to a certain extent the city. I'm in Trieste, definitely not a place, I'm not from a ward, which is a place of safety only in the minds of the establishment in the UK. And well, I'm on the Molo Audace, which is a pier in front of Piazza Unita, which you can see in the picture. And Piazza Unita is the biggest square in Europe on the sea after Lisbon. Now, sorry, I'm not very practical of these things. I have this light in my face, which is the only way to get some light on my face. So I guess that's just how the video is going to be. But I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you about the latest bout of enthusiasm for the Trieste model, which has been sparked on social media, definitely on Twitter, by Ian Birrell's article. So what do I want to say about this? I want to say that we, as usual, when this happens, we forget about the reasons for the Trieste model. So it's lots of people that are enthusiastic, that say, oh yeah, we need Trieste, it's so fantastic. And then obviously nobody really knows what Trieste is about. Partly because Basaglia's books have never been translated in English, and partly because people generally have never been to Trieste and have no idea what Trieste is about. The result of this is, well, there are two negative results of this. One result is that people make demands on services in other moments that are the direct opposite of Trieste without realizing it. So people will say, oh yes, Trieste is fantastic, and then also complain about the staff member that was sleeping while being on 15-minute sobs on a ward, which is very bad. It's very bad to sleep when you're on your workplace. But the view in Trieste is not that people die because there wasn't enough monitoring or surveillance. It's because the environments that we build as a society, which includes suicides that happen in Trieste, didn't respond to the person's needs. And so to prevent suicides and prevent tragedies, we need to build environments that are welcoming, not environments that are controlling. Because if you try to control people out of suicide, there will inevitably be failures in the surveillance mechanism. So the important thing is to create welcoming environments. That's why we have an open door system in Trieste. So it's key for us to understand why Trieste is safe. Because if we keep saying, yes, we want Trieste, but we also want a very controlling system, we're never going to get anywhere. Well, definitely we're not going to get to the results that we got in Trieste, where the suicide rate has reduced significantly since the gradual adoption of an open door system. And that's one negative consequence of not knowing, the principles that Trieste is based on. The second negative problem is that we should not, in my opinion, we should not be advocating for Trieste models. The Trieste models, which means services that are in place in Trieste, have been a compromise between Basaglia's ideas, the ideas of the democratic psychiatry movement, and a reactionary, brutal system that was in charge at that time, the asylum people that believed in the asylum system and the psychiatric hospital system. There's been a compromise between these two views that has been the Trieste model. Now, I think that there are some problems in Trieste with, for example, the general hospital ward that we spoke a lot about on the podcast, even though it's very small, even though the doors are always open, even though there's no restraint. So the issue is here, we will have to reach compromises for any change, even in Britain, but our starting point needs to be a system that is based on trust, not based on just assuming there's going to be trust when you open the door, as sometimes my views are characterized. You need to gradually open the door, and it's difficult to build a relation of trust. But it's about, as the example that was brought up in the article, if somebody throws over a table, then kind of being able to have a discussion between all of us. Some other people there might, patients, service users might say, well, hold on a second, I was drinking my tea and you've, and now I can't anymore. So we're kind of raising an issue with the person and trying to discuss this in a setting that is not patronizing, but we're all kind of listening to each other and trying to come to a solution rather than just assaulting this person and say, oh, he's ill, he can't take responsibility for anything. So a view that is based on control and standing outside the door, not because you don't, then we don't want the opposite. Obviously, you want to be close to somebody who's suicidal, but not close because you want to be controlling, because you want to be there for the person. But we can't start from the premise that we can save people, because we can't. And depriving people from responsibilities doesn't just deprive them from any sense of agency on how they feel, but also their family, not just the family, also society. And in the end, nobody is going to change. Nothing's going to change. We just lock people up and nothing is in question. That's very convenient for society, and it's not very effective in the long run. So when we have these debates, please let's think about the premises of our discussion and why we want Trieste if we want it. Thank you, bye-bye.